Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here again. Got another tutorial for you today. Something really special, and I'm really excited to share with you. So this is a Pokeball Paracord Bracelet. This is really cool, guys. This design and method comes from one of our own. Anne-Marie King, she shared this on the Fraternity of Weavers Facebook page, and she was gracious enough to also share some picture instructions. So it is my honor today to teach you guys how to do it, because I learned it through her instruction, and I've had a lot of fun translating this one into a video tutorial for you guys. But as you can see, it's just a Pokeball crafted out of paracord and a few other items you'll see in the tutorial. We've got our nice Cobra stitch on the side, and we also did a flip-flop kind of white and red buckle. So overall, looks really cool, and yeah, it's really awesome. So that being said, guys, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so to start off, I've got my keyring here, and this is about 1.5 inches. I think 1 inch could work as well, but the Pokeball will be a little smaller, so I'm using 1.5. And I've got my 2 lengths of gutted paracord. I've got red and white, and I roughly have 2 feet, or a little over 2 feet of each. Okay, so let's get started with the red. It doesn't matter which color you use, and any keyring will do. I just happen to have a nicer one here, but it doesn't really matter what color either, because the paracord will cover it. All right, so as you can see here, I've just doubled over my paracord like this, and we're going to start off here. It doesn't really matter where you start off. Now we're just going to very simply tie a Cobra knots all the way down half of the keyring. Okay, so maybe we'll start up here. We'll start here, that way we know we're halfway when we're right across. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do the right over the keyring, put the left strand behind that, and go through this side. Okay, sorry if my thumbs are in the way. It's a lot more intense work when it's really small like this, but I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Cobra knot, and if you're not, you can always check out my other tutorials for that. Okay, so that's 1 knot. Let's keep going. So this time, left side over the keyring, right over that, and then through to the other side like so. And the only real tip I would say for this is, as you're tying these knots, make sure there's no gaps. See how there's a gap there? Every time I tie a knot, I'm going to kind of push everything together so that it hides the keyring, because it'll look better that way. Okay, so let's continue doing that, and I'm sure you guys can guess what I'm going to do with the white cord. Also, because we're using gutted cord, see how it's twisting like that? Try to make sure there's no little twists and stuff in there. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that halfway down. All right, so I'm going to go all the way to here, and then we'll do the other side with the white. Let's do that one more time. Pull that through. Okay, so again, make sure there's no twists. Okay, so we'll be back when we do the white side. Okay, so the red side is done. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with the white. And nothing special here. I'm going to start on the opposite end. So you can see I have half red. Now we're going to do the other side with a white. And exact same thing. Okay, so I'm going to do our Cobra knots. And go down this way. So as soon as we finish this side, can snip and singe off all the excess, and be sure to do exactly as I did before. After you tie your knots, just make sure you push everything together so it looks nice, and I'm gonna just keep pushing everything up against here so there's no gaps in everything. Okay, so continue tying your Cobra knots for the white side, and yeah, we'll see you in the next step. Okay, so almost done the white side, and now to finish off, there's not much to do. Just going to tie the last knot here, And at this point, you can also assess to make sure you have a perfect 50-50 of the red and white. Okay, like so. This looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to snip and singe off all my excess here, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so I snipped off the excess, so you can see our Pokeball starting to form. This next part is going to be a little finicky and a little tricky, so you know, do your best. I've got a piece of gutted paracord here. I've actually ironed it because it flattened it out, because it just happened to have my ironed out, and it will make it a lot easier. So what you're gonna have to do is estimate how much of the inner circumference of this Pokeball is, and you're gonna have to cut a piece of paracord roughly the inside circumference like this. Okay, so if you just estimate it, I'll probably like cut it right there. I'm gonna cut it off, cut the piece off, and then you're going to take both ends and just slightly melt them a bit and then join them together like that. Okay, so you can do that, or if you have one of these flexible measuring tapes, if you kind of just, can't really show this too well, but if you kind of just push the measuring tape in there like so, you can kind of get an idea of the inner circumference. Okay, so it's going to depend on the size of keyring you used and all that, so do your best and try to get it to fit as best as possible, because that'll help in making it look better. Okay, so again, just to review, I'm going to get my estimated piece of paracord. I'm going to cut it off like probably right about there so it fits in here, and then I'm going to join them together. Okay, you can either, I'd say the best way is just take your lighter and you know, torch the ends a bit and very carefully do that, and then just hold them together, and you'll have your little circle here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so here is my little black loop of the gutted paracord. It took me a couple tries to get the right size, and I just melted the ends together. So like I said, I took a little lighter to it, I torched it, and I just held it together really carefully. So now you can see it fits in my little keyring here. It's not perfect, but it's the best I can do for now. So now, if that wasn't tricky enough, we're going to have to glue this in here, and I would highly suggest you glue it in there because it's not going to fit completely perfectly and it will slide around. So you can use super glue if you want, or if you're more comfortable with hot glue, do that. I'm just going to put a drop of super glue maybe here and here, and hopefully that'll stay in place. Again, I might have to do it off camera. It's just going to be too finicky, and I know if I do it on camera, I'm going to screw it up and make a mess. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I got my black ring in place there. Luckily, I was able to do it on the first try, but I needed full concentration, so I couldn't have the camera running. So now next, we're going to work on this little side details. I've got another small piece of black gutted paracord, and this is going to form that black line that's on the side of the Pokeball like this. So I'm not even going to try to melt them together. I'm just going to dab some super glue right here on one end. I'm going to press that in place. Then I'm going to wrap it around. You can put another dab of super glue here as well, like that. And then you're going to bring it around to the inside and join it there. Okay, so this one's going to be just all super glue. And be careful, you know, don't super glue it to your fingers, or don't get too much super glue everywhere because it'll look bad. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do this on one side here, and I'm going to do it on the other side here. So we're going to do it right where the black and red meet. Okay, so I'm going to add my two details, and then we can move on from there. Okay, so I've got my two details installed. It's looking pretty good. Everything's looking pretty clean. So now for the third finicky part, we're going to have to create the detail for the inner part of the Pokeball. So I've got this is roughly 7 or 8 inches of gutted white paracord. Again, I've ironed this to make it nice and flat. So for this part, we're going to create that white section of the Pokeball by rolling this flattened cord into a like a circle. Now, what I would suggest is you do this with a bit of super glue again. So I've started it off, but what I'm going to do is probably add a drop of super glue every few centimeters, or every half inch or so, just so that it doesn't unravel on you. But you can see what I'm doing, right? I'm just rolling the flattened paracord like this, and this is going to create that inner white circle. Okay, so you're going to have to kind of play this by ear and just keep rolling until you have enough. So I'm just going to do this without the super glue to show you, but this is the concept and this is the idea. Okay, so keep that nice and flat, and we're almost there, but I'm gonna keep going just to show you guys. Maybe we'll just pop it in there to show you what it looks like if there's enough paracord here. I think there's roughly, well, I'll put all the annotations for measurements are earlier in the video, but let's see, is this too much? I think it is. Yeah, it's too much. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. So roll the paracord to your corresponding size for your detail here, and then see, that's what it's going to look like. And then when you get to the right size, you're just going to have to kind of estimate it, snip off the excess paracord, and then just use another dab of super glue and just glue it down, and then you can put that in here, right? So this is what it'll look like. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and we'll move on to the next step from there. Okay, so I've got my center finished, and this is, for me, it's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter across, or a little over 2 centimeters. So yeah, I just did what exactly I told you to do. Just slowly rolled it up, and I put a few drops of super glue as I was going along so it doesn't unravel. So for this part, I'm a little torn, but I mean, it does fit in just like this if you just kind of press it in. So what you can do if you really want it to be secure, I'd say put a couple drops of super glue here and here on the inside, and then just kind of push it in, because I don't think it's too secure if you just leave it like this. Also, you can maybe just push it in and then put a drop of super glue here and here where the contact points are. Maybe not on the front side, whichever side that'll be, because it might show. But yeah, again, just super glue it in, and then we can proceed with the rest of the bracelet. Okay, so with our Pokeball finished, it looks good. I've got it glued in place. We're going to start the bracelet part now. So I've got 2 strands of paracord, one red, one white, and I've got about 4 feet of each. So to do this, we're going to have to join these because we're going to have one side red, one side white. So I'm going to use a reef knot to do so. And we're going to start that by taking the white over the red. So I'm just going to cross them like this. Bring this one around like so. Now, if I was just tying a regular reef knot, I would just tie it right here, but give yourself a little more and pull these strands further apart. You'll see why in a sec. Like that. Okay, so we have that down here. So now up here, we have the white on the right and red on the left. We're going to go white over again. I'm going to pull that down here. And that's going to create a reef knot like this. So now you can see these are uneven, so just even both sides out. That's why I kind of told you to pull it a bit more just to give yourself an easier time. So just even these strands out like so. And I'm going to even the white side out. See, this is not even. So I'm going to pull most of that through and pull that through. Okay. So once you have these evened out, this is how it's going to work. It's going to sit like this, right? And we're going to tie our cobra knots on each side. Okay, so you'll need your FID for this next step. Okay, so we've got our reef knot here to the red and white joined, and our strands are more or less even. So I'm using, I took a red and white block. I'm actually going to go half and half just to match the themes. I think it'll look pretty cool. I've got the red male end, and I'm going to find my two ends of my strands, and I'm going to push both through here. So now the tricky part here is you're just going to have to estimate your length of your bracelet on how long you want each, because this section will be your cobra stitch and the Pokeball will be right here. Okay, so this is where you're gonna have to determine your length. I'm gonna have to play around with mine. We're not too sure exactly what it's gonna be, but yeah, determine your length of each side of the cobra stitch, because there'll be one side here and one side here. So, but from here, after you've got your length down, you know how long the section needs to be. Yeah, you just tie your cobra knot. Okay, so we'll just do that just to show you. Same cobra knot we done before. Okay, like that. So I'm going to continue tying this cobra knot down my bracelet here. Okay. Right, so that's it. Start tying your cobra knots down here and work your way all the way down to here when you get to the end. And I'll show you what to do from there. But I'm going to do this side, right, with the red, and then I'm going to turn it around and do the exact same thing on the other side with the white. You know, same thing with your two cords. I have my other end of my buckle. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And we're going to pull these through. And from here again, we determine the length of our bracelet. Okay, because it's going to be here. And then you start tying your cobra knot as well. So do both sides and try to get them as even as possible. This one will test your OCD. So do that. And then I'll show you how to finally attach the Pokeball to the bracelet. Okay, so cobra knot both sides, and then we'll meet again when we get to the middle. Okay, so I finished tying my cobra knots. So I stopped about a ½ inch on each side, roughly. Doesn't have to be too exact. And also, just a quick tip, I know it looks a little ugly here, but I put a thin layer of super glue on this side just to keep everything secure. I don't want it to unfurl. So now we're going to attach the Pokeball to the bracelet like this. This is our presentation side. So if we hold it kind of like this, you know, yeah, it works either way, same thing. So we'll start on this side. This side's going to be facing up. So if we look at the back, it's going to sit like this. Now we're going to take our FID, attach this to one side. I'm going to start with the white. Doesn't really matter which side you start with. So I'm going to go through this knot right here. Okay, right there. And push that through one. That's one on this side. Okay. And let's do the white on the other side. Attach my FID here. And we're going to go through this knot right here. So I can't do that. I can't do that one. That's too close. Go through this one. Okay. Come on. There we go. Pull that through. Okay, let's remove the FID. So you can see what I'm doing here, right? You can see that I'm attaching one side to each, like that. Now, before we secure that, let's do the other side. Do the red side. Sorry for the cords being in the way. It's getting a little messy, I know, but it's okay. Attach here. So same thing on this side, except for this one, we'll have to go, I think right here should be good. Let's do this one. I think that works out okay. Yep. And the last one, number 4. Attach the fit again. And I'm going to go through right here. Yeah, because I can't do this one because there's the melted end there, but we can go through this one. It should be okay. Let's push that through. There we go. Nice. It's coming together. Okay, so now that we have everything attached, we're going to secure all these cords. So to secure these last few cords, you got a couple options. If you're feeling kind of lazy and you just want to snip and melt the cords right here, you can do that. But I think to make it extra secure, see, I've got this little bit of cord here left. I'm going to tie a cobra knot right here. But I'm going to need my fid, otherwise it's going to be a little difficult. So I'm going to do fid on the left strand. So we'll do the right side cord over that. We'll go underneath the white core in the middle and out through the other side like that. Okay, and we'll pull that tight, and there you go. That's nice and secure. I've already done it on this side, and just because of the spacing, I have a little extra gap on this side, but overall both sides are equal. So yeah, I mean, you can, if you have enough space, you can tie a second one if you want. I mean, let's just try that now. You don't have to though, but I think one is enough. So we'll do the over the core like that, go underneath through here. Okay, there we go. So that is all good. And I've already done it on this side. I was only able to squeeze in one cobra knot. But that's it. Now we're going to snip and singe all of our excess. It's only 4 cords left to snip, and we'll be finished. And there we have it, guys. We are finished. So snipped and singed off all the excess cords. This little red one got away from me there, but still able to do it. So maybe when you do yours, see if you can get the 2 stitches in, because that seemed to really help. But overall, I think we did pretty well. I don't know, what do you guys think? Right, so this is the Pokemon bracelet. Quite a doozy, a lot of steps I know for this one, but you know, in the end, if you're a huge fan of Pokemon and you're part of the Pokemon Go craze, I think you would enjoy making this one. All right, guys, that is it for me. I hope everything was nice and clear. If there's anything you're unsure of, please do leave a comment down below. And also leave a comment and let me know what you think. Are you guys playing Pokemon? If so, what level are you? I'm not doing too bad myself. Well, I don't know. I'm still a noob. I'm only like level 11, or 12, but we'll see where that goes. All right, guys. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next tutorial, and that's it. Bye.